Monday, time to get serious. Let's do some work, Rex. Let's go outside. Yeah. Let's do a couple spins, go outside and say, oh, why is it all wet? Well, I guess it rained. But even more than that, in the middle of the night, we did get some rain. But even more than that, we had a few hours where the sky cleared, and I think the wind was almost calm. That's a curious weather phenomena that the wind let up late yesterday and last night. So we had some radiational cooling, and you may have noticed that the windows have some condensation on them. Yes, and there are areas of dense fog this morning, which is weird because we had a front go by, and you'd think maybe the wind would be picking up, but it was a very weak front that came through, and there was severe weather on Long Island. Shinnecock Bay gusted at 60 miles an hour, where there was more than an inch of rain near New York City. And even Cape Cod, I think late last night and early this morning, ended up with close to a half inch of rain. So, you make these rain wrecks. Stop. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm pausing this because these are one take wrecks. I come out and I do it, and you're not helping at all. Okay? If you want to stay in this part of the forecast, you're going to have to be more quiet. It pained me, but I had to put Rex in a timeout. Wow, we get some water on the tomatoes. Montauk daisies, are they blooming at your house yet? They're going to be blooming at mine very soon. I love the Montauk, but it means it's the end of the warm season. Look at that. Talk about condensation. Can't even see through the rain gauge this morning. Everything got condensated. Radiational cooling, and survey says 0.125. Should we do to the hundreds? Just over a tenth. And that's funny because I said most of us are going to get less than a tenth. Take it. And there's the kale. I finally figured out that's kale. All right, so what's the weather doing? Let's get serious about some weather forecasting here. We have sunshine this morning. I wasn't really expecting this much sunshine, but there's instability, so clouds are definitely going to build up. It's cold up in the sky. I did not check the temperature at Mount Washington, but it's not snowing in the mountains, at least not until about Thursday or so. So we have a series of fronts coming at us, and they'll generate just a chance of a shower each afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm in a few spots this afternoon. And tomorrow there's another front, so we have a weak front offshore, and then the upper level low with quite a bit of severe weather yesterday in Wisconsin. That upper level low is actually going to take a couple of days to go by, and we're going to have a gradual cooling trend. You see the 3 to 5 day forecast here from weather.us for Boston. Shows no big deal. Temperatures mostly in the 60s, looking pretty nice. So a fairly quiet week. A big strong high pressure system is going to come in second half of the weekend. We'll get maybe cold enough for some snow on top of Mount Washington on Thursday or so. And speaking of high pressure, now the Fiona swell, what's that? Has nothing to do with high pressure. The Fiona swell is still charging across the Atlantic. Fiona's long gone, leaving that disaster in maritime Canada. And now there are long period waves up to 5 meters coming into Ireland all the way to Africa. Iceland, Africa, really. The Fiona swell is arriving tomorrow with surfers up and down the coast of Europe into Africa and Iceland, enjoying the Fiona swell. And it looks kind of extreme. What about for New England? Well, Gaston is decayed, but the size of that high pressure system in the Atlantic Ocean is influencing the entire basin, and we may end up with a long period swell here in New England. Actually, this morning, Boston, 10-second, but it's only 1 foot. A 1 foot swell, 10-second period at the Boston buoy this morning. So there is a long period swell, and it may build up to a few feet here tomorrow and Wednesday thanks to high pressure, huge high, and the anticyclonic circulation across the Atlantic Ocean. And then what about the surf in Florida? It's going to start building. Ian, not really a comical situation. Ian is a serious situation. It became a hurricane last night, and all indications are it's going to become a major hurricane off the coast of Florida, so it passes Cuba tonight. And then it slows down a little bit west of Tampa is what it looks like now for Wednesday and Thursday. So you may have more than 24 hours of hurricane conditions from Tampa to Cedar Key, and even south of Tampa, maybe tropical storm conditions. So the warnings and watches and state of emergency already declared in Florida. There's still a tiny bit of hope that it could wobble west. You can look at the Canadian. Yesterday, the Canadian said, oh, it's going to decay in the Gulf of Mexico. Now it says it's going to be a little bit further to the east and not really decaying until at least the Florida Panhandle late in the week. And then we can take it even a little bit further. After raking Florida for a few days, it's going to go into Georgia on the Alabama line here about Friday or so. Remember one run last week of the Euro that had it in New England on Friday? Yep, things changed in the 5-day forecast, so this one's certainly going to change again. But this is the latest guidance, and then it comes in our weekend. Looks pretty good. Saturday, Sunday, high pressure over us with the rain that was supposed to be up here with Ian still way down in the south. So Ian is missing this trough, and then actually next Monday and Tuesday, that's when it usually rains around here, we may end up with a little bit of a sort of post-tropical Ian / nor'easter next Tuesday, Wednesday. So this is a moving target for sure. But right now it looks pretty quiet for New England. The 14-day forecast actually has no rain in Boston. We may get a shower or two here and there, but we'll see. I think after next Sunday, like it's been the last several weeks, we'll have to watch the sky. Yesterday was a really crazy day. There were some raindrops. It was really windy. I went down to the boat yards to see if people were pulling their boats, and they're not. I mean, there are some empty moorings right here, but so we always kind of wait till the last minute to pull the boats, and right now it doesn't look like any big storms, but instead of seeing boats get pulled, I ended up getting an egg from a hen. Thank you, Meg and Jeff Kent, for a little tour down by Turn Harbor. Wow, this grass really took a beating. All right, where are we going now? Up to the coop. Next stop, the hens. What do you mean the hens are out? Where are they out? You say come on.
As soon as they figure it out.
Figure out what? Come on, here hens.
Hello, ladies. You ready? You ready for some food? Gotta rain a little bit. Come on. They belong to Tim? Oh, yeah.
They get some raspberries, blueberries, sunflower seeds, corn.
Yeah. And spaghetti squash. Let's go.
Spaghetti squash.
Come on, everybody in. Let's go. Come on.
You cooked the spaghetti squash.
Yes, I did.
That's how you put them inside?
Yep.
And they're going in early in the day because there's a chance of precipitation.
And wind, you said, right?
2% chance of a tornado.
Yeah, okay. I'm not taking my chances.
I'll be back if that happens.